NFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things NFC West from the best creators in the division, including Los Angeles Rams creator Jake, San Francisco 49ers creator Jesse, Seattle Seahawks creator Brandon, and Arizona Cardinals creator Mike. Catch the NFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. What is up, NFC West football fans, and welcome into another edition of the NFC West Roundtable. Week 4 is in the books. It kicked off on Thursday night last week. The Battle of Brandon and Mike. We'll recap that. Another W for the Rams. We'll talk that. We'll also talk about the San Francisco 49ers' first loss, narrowly, to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's coming your way on this episode. Also on the back half, we will preview Week 5, giving you predictions and a full preview, including, of course, the game the fellas will be at, the Thursday night showdown between Jake and Jesse, the Rams and the Niners. That's what's coming your way on this episode of the NFC West Roundtable. Without further ado, let's bring in the fellas. Brando looking good in the shades. Jesse, Jake, and Mike. Fellas, we are less than 24 hours from having this box of 5 go from virtual to physical. We will be in LA tomorrow. How stoked are you? I'm pumped. I cannot wait. Brandon, I know you're already ready. You got the shades on. You're ready for the LA sun.
I'm ready to welcome my fellow gentlemen into my kind state of California. Come one all. And let me show you how it is out here living in the West Coast. I mean, it's addicting, this West Coast life. What can I say?
We'll see if we end up getting addicted to it. We will all be touching down in LA tomorrow, as will many of you. We cannot wait to see each and every one of you who have purchased tickets to the NFC West Roundtable's first ever event. I can't believe it's already here. Speaking of which, there are a limited amount of tickets available. I know we are 2 days out, but if you happen to live in the area or you happen to have a couple days off and can get to the area, link in the description below. Come meet us. If you're able to do it, come and do it. It's worth every penny. We're going to have an absolute ball. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to watch the game with you. So if you're able to do it, do it. Link is in the description below. If you're not able to make it, we'll miss you. If you are able to make it, once again, we cannot wait to see you. It's going to be one hell of a time. All right, speaking of Thursday night football, there was some Thursday night football action last week between Mike's Cardinals and Brandon's Seahawks. And if you couldn't tell by now, if you missed the game, well, you know who won based on who's rocking the shades. Brandon's got his shades on because his Seahawks improve 2-3-1. 23-20, the Seahawks get it done over Arizona. It looked like the Seahawks were going to run away with it until all of a sudden they weren't. The Cardinals make a fierce comeback, but at the end of the day, Sam Darnold and company are able to fight off that comeback and get their third W of the season. I'll start with the winner here, Brandon. I know we're about a week removed, so it might be tough to recall, but I got a feeling you're not going to struggle talking about a W. Talk to me about what you saw from your Seahawks last Thursday night.
Well, the type of effort that I kind of was expecting against this Cardinal team. I've said all offseason I felt like Mike McDonald has Kyler Murray's number and how to play him just right and to keep him contained. And the Seattle Seahawks were able to do that for the most part of this day. I've also mentioned throughout this offseason, you guys, this is not the Sam Darnold of old. This is the new Sam Darnold. This is more of what you're going to get from the Minnesota days. And he's been every bit of that and more, and was that in this game. It's not a high-volume passer. It's that a guy that you give the attempts to goes out and makes it happen in a major way, controlling things out there. It wasn't always made easy because you weren't able to always run the ball. You got out ahead and you had this in a dominant effort, and you kind of took your foot a little bit off the gas. I felt like a little conservative into that second half. But ultimately, this was a game where you were just the better team and you're catching the Cardinals at the right time. Marvin Harrison was obviously still kind of in his head to start out that game. It seemed like it kind of got figured out by the end of it. But you just played how you've played kind of throughout this season. Everybody sort of chipped in on all three assets, all three phases of the football team. It was mainly led by the defense, which has been the way this has gone, all part of the blueprint, but really as much led by what you're able to do offensively with Darnold and some of his decision-making and some of his throws, even some of his incompletions. He's got a couple of those where some of the best throws he makes are sometimes his incompletions, and that stands out to just how far he has progressed as a quarterback. But a huge win for the Seahawks as you got to keep pace in this division.
Keep pace, indeed. This division is certainly heating up, and it gets even crazier this upcoming Thursday with a battle of 3-1 teams going at it at SoFi. But Brandon, you're watching this game, and these these Seahawks rather, have all of a sudden become a team where in the beginning of the year you weren't entirely sure what they are. Now they seem to be a well-oiled, efficient machine. How impressed are you through the first month here? Because 3-1 is 3-1, and there's only 2 undefeated teams in the NFL right now, so this is about as good as it gets. Based on everything you've seen, another divisional W here, what's your overall assessment? Because watching that Seahawks team in primetime, they looked like a team that's ready to compete at the top of the NFC.
Well, my upside's gone a little bit higher for the team. I don't know if they can reach that or yet. There is still the test where you have to see with a team that over the last couple of years has been able to feast on some of the lesser foes in the football. And then when you face kind of the real true tests, you're not always strong up to that test. That's going to be what I'm going to be monitoring, or i.e. when we play like a team like even a Tampa Bay team next week, that gives you a little bit better understanding of really a test of where you truly are. Because it's not that you faced weak opponents, but you haven't faced necessarily the top of the top necessarily on the other side of this up to this point, including the Niner game where they did beat you at home in that opening week. So there still is a little bit of that remaining mystery here with this football team. But the upside of Sam Darnold moving up here, even where I thought he could be in a top 10 type state, if he plays at a top 5 like efficiency from the quarterback position throughout the course of this year, that absolutely takes the top of the ceiling of this team and takes it much higher as far as its potentiality and even into the highest of the highs. He's playing that good of the position, in my opinion.
Mike, the NFL is a cruel league. Just a handful of days ago, the Cardinals are undefeated. You blink, and then all of a sudden they have 2 divisional losses, both narrow losses, right? A 1-point loss to the San Francisco 49ers, a 3-point loss to Seattle. In the beginning of that game, the topic of conversation was, wow, Marvin Harrison Jr., what's going on here? Can't get it rolling. He gets that huge touchdown. The Cardinals make their comeback. It just wasn't enough. And all of a sudden, a 2-0 start results in 2-2. Your overall assessment from what you saw from your Arizona Cardinals in another divisional battle a week ago.
Yeah, I mean, not just 2-2, you're 0-2 in the division, which is one of those situations that you don't want to find yourself in as an Arizona Cardinal fan. I mean, this division is already pretty tough as is, with every single other team at 3-1 right now, and the Cardinals are playing catch up like we unfortunately have been, or at least trying to be within the top of the division here. It's very unfortunate. I don't really know how to attack this game. I mean, I was actually kind of shocked that the Arizona Cardinals, actually, I'm not shocked. This is 8-0 versus the Seattle Seahawks, and I was really hoping this team was going to come out here and show some fight, and they did for the last maybe 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, but I don't know if I want to take that as a positive, because the Cardinals showed that they can be good within the last 10 minutes. Now you got to take everything into account, right? Is it the Seattle Seahawks, letting up a little bit, kind of, not allowing them, but, playing a little softer? That can very well be a real possibility that the Seattle Seahawks weren't playing their full, gusto, because they probably felt like this game was in the bag. At one point, it was like 17-3, like 20-6. Like, this game was dominated on both sides of the ball by the Seattle Seahawks. Dumb, crucial mistakes, whether you want to blame it on Kyler or Marvin Harrison Jr. bobbling the ball. And, Kyler had 2 interceptions in this game. This kind of feels like a prototypical Cardinals versus Seahawks game where at one point it was being dominated, and, this is really, like, these games really come down to turnover battles. And unfortunately, Kyler Murray does not play his greatest games against the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, obviously 8-0, and that's not all him, but they now have 8 straight wins against the Cardinals. So Kyler got it right in the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, which is really cool to see. I mean, Amari DeMarcado ended up getting a touchdown, as well as Marvin Harrison Jr. But I think this game really kind of goes to show you, like, the miscommunication between Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. And at a big national level, you can really see that miscommunication has been something that's been plaguing this Cardinal team since last year. I don't get it. I don't understand it. There's always 1 or 2 missed throws from these 2 guys, and I don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't. Now, if you watch the old 22 film, one of the first interceptions from Kyler Murray, it does seem like Marvin Harrison Jr. does stop in his route, but I don't know why he was even throwing to double, triple coverage. I don't understand that. And then the other one was a bobble that, Marvin Harrison Jr. ended up kind of catching, but it ended up falling into the hands of the opposing DB over there. So this, in a nutshell, was kind of a heartbreaking loss. I was actually there in State Farm Stadium. There was a lot of Seattle Seahawks fans there. And of course, because they won, the Seahawks chant was all throughout State Farm Stadium, which is a little bit disgusting, but I get it. I understand that this Arizona Cardinal, fan base doesn't really show out unless they prove that they are a playoff team. And right now, I kid you not, there's a lot of Cardinal fans that are kind of hitting the panic button, because what we thought was going to be an easy part of the schedule is not that easy anymore. With, the Tennessee Titans, I guess we'll give you that. But then we got the Colts, And then we got the Green Bay Packers and then the Dallas Cowboys, which can put points up on the board. So some Cardinal fans are really kind of hitting the panic button right now because the offense cannot seem to get their stuff together. And now we're heading into year 3 of Petzing, year 2 of Marvin and Kyler, and it doesn't really seem like it's trending in the right direction with the exception of the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. So I don't know. Panic, I guess here in Arizona, people are already planning the next QB. We heard some national media outlets saying that Kyler Murray's reached a ceiling with the Cardinals and potentially the Cardinals can trade him. We don't know. I don't know what Montiel support and the Cardinals are going to decide to do, but the season's still young. We're 2-2. We got a really good favorable matchup coming our way versus the Tennessee Titans, but this is as heartbreaking of a loss as it comes. This is the exact same way this 49ers beat us. So deja vu. Now, granted, it was only 1 point by them. 3 points by the Seattle Seahawks. And it also kind of came down to Chad Ryland trying to knuckleballing that freaking ball, which he'd never done all freaking season long. Why the coaching staff wanted him to do it is beyond me. But that ended up having him start at the 40-yard line, which was really easy for obviously their weapons and JSN to kind of go up the field. And it was history from then. But good momentum. I guess if you want to take something good away, the Cardinals looked good in the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. But that's pretty much all we kind of got going for the Cardinals right now. Hopefully, week 5 is the get-right game that we're all hopefully expecting. Fingers crossed.
Week 5 should be your get-right game, Mike, right? You're playing the Tennessee Titans, who haven't done much of anything right under that rookie quarterback with Cam Ward, just trying to figure things out. But you mentioned it. It does get quite difficult after that, having to play the Colts, the Packers, the Cowboys, and then these Seahawks again, plus the Niners right after that. So you have back-to-back divisional games. So we'll learn what these Cardinals are sooner than later. But right now, they are 2-2 as they head into that winnable game against the Titans. All right, let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers, a team we are going to watch this Thursday night, and they get their first loss of the season, 26-21 to a surprising 3-1 Jacksonville Jaguar team. Brock Purdy was back, and he wound up throwing as many balls as Mac Jones had been throwing the last couple of games, but 2 interceptions come on his 38 attempts to go along with 2 touchdowns and 309 yards. Christian McCaffrey led the way receiving. He had over 20 touches in this game, 17 rushes, but 6 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown. Wasn't enough, though. Trevor Lawrence, despite only having 174 yards, got it done on the back of Travis Etienne's 124-yard performance on the ground. Jesse, talk to me, because the Jaguars are an interesting team. I feel like it's easy to overlook them, but thus far, that's not a team you want to overlook, or should you overlook. The Niners lose to them 26-21. What was your takeaway from not only the game, but also Brock Purdy being back in this one?
Yeah, I don't know that the Jaguars are great, but they're definitely complete. I mean, they've got players on every level on both sides of the ball, and it showed. They're also a very sloppy team. As much as I want to give them credit for the win, and they were the better team, I'm not the guy that's going to sit up here and be like, oh, injuries this or no. They won on Sunday. They were the better team. However, the Jaguars are not that impressive, and it makes me take inventory in what happened the first 3 games, who they played, some of the circumstances. And I just don't know that the 49ers are a good football team. We'll see after this next 2-game stretch. I'm very curious to see how it goes against the Rams and then the Bucs, and then we'll get a bigger picture on what the 49ers actually look like. And I think the discouraging thing is that they continue to get injured. Ricky Pearsall may not play on Thursday. Jennings may not play on Thursday. Purdy may not play on Thursday. And Purdy, his regression is seemingly still very much in play right now. In his last 19 starts, so just for context, Brock Purdy has 38 career regular season starts. So the second half of that career, the last 19 starts, he has just 26 touchdown passes to 20 interceptions. This is not a one-game problem. And his turnovers are starting to become an issue. People wanted to blame it on the toe and the offensive line and whatever we want to do, but this is not a one-game problem. And the 49ers need a quarterback right now that can be efficient. And as bad as that game was, with 4 turnovers and a million drops and penalties and miscues and special teams touchdowns and big plays from the Jags, the 49ers still had their chance at the end of that game, and Brock Purdy had ball in hand and fumbled it away. So not ideal for sure. The question does come up, if Mac Jones had played, would they have won just because he might have been more efficient? I don't know the answer to that, but the fact that we are talking about that just 4 games into a season after signing Brock Purdy to a massive contract is extremely discouraging. The other thing is the 49ers, as good as their defense has been, they cannot force turnovers outside of a Fred Warner fumble every once in a while. They have now set an NFL record, 11 straight games with no interceptions on defense. So if you can't force turnovers and you're turning the ball over, you basically are guaranteeing you're going to lose. And oh, by the way, the 49ers also can't run the ball with efficiency, which has been their bread and butter the whole time Kyle Shanahan has been there. They're the only team in the NFL without a rushing touchdown. CMC doesn't seem to have any burst. The offensive line isn't doing a great job of opening lanes. And this team, although 3-1 and should be feeling good, seems very, very incomplete. And I could see some losses on the horizon, and it's pretty discouraging.
You mentioned Purdy, and you also mentioned the question that you feel like you shouldn't be asking after re-signing Brock Purdy, and that is, if Mac Jones was in, do they win this game in your estimation, based on what you saw and then what you saw from Mac Jones the previous 2 weeks here? Do you think they would have won the game if Mac Jones was playing?
Yeah, it's tough to say because Mac Jones had a PCL injury of his own, but gosh, man, it's hard. If Mac Jones plays anything like he did the other 2 games, then yeah, they probably do. Really, what they needed was just efficiency. As long as you had a guy in there that wasn't going to turn the ball over, you would have won the game. And this is where the issue comes in with Brock Purdy. He has a game manager skill set and a gunslinger mindset. Often his turnovers are coming on first downs where you don't need to force the ball down the field, downs where you should be taking checkdowns and just getting yards, in positions where you are near scoring range. And this continuously happens. He wants to force the ball downfield. He ends up doing so, and bad things happen. Or, he's got that short area quickness, which can be a blessing, but for him, it seems to be a bit of a curse. He gets himself into situations where he takes unnecessary hits or sacks, and he's just playing hero ball when it doesn't need to happen. If he can go back to playing the way that he did early on in his career, take those checkdowns and then take the big shots when they're available. I'm not saying don't throw it downfield. He definitely did that, but he picked and chose those spots with high efficiency. And now it seems like every chance he gets, if he has a high-low read, he's going high no matter what the coverage looks like. And it's been a disaster. He has to get back to playing within himself and within the offense. I have my doubts, though, because this is what he did in college. He started out hot, and then he regressed. In practice, he throws a lot of interceptions, and now the second half of his regular season career, he continuously is turning the ball over. I don't know if this is who he is. I don't know if this is who he will always be, but if this is the guy you paid, that was the wrong move.
And lastly, on the topic, you mentioned last week, Mac Jones is playing well. I bet you Brock Purdy's turf toe ends up healing up sooner than we realize, right? I know that was kind of said jokingly, but there he was back at it. Mm-hmm. Do you think the willingness to sort of play hero ball, but maybe it wasn't necessary, do you think that was overcompensating for Mac Jones winning 2 games? Do you also think he was healthy enough in this game to have gotten the start, especially now that turf toe is back up in question? He might not play Thursday.
I don't know. At the end of the day, he chose to play and he was very mobile. Maybe some of the errant throws were on that. But again, if this was a 1-game sample size, it was like, you know what? It was just a bad game and probably the turf toe and maybe he doesn't play Thursday. Sure. But again, I gave a half a career sample size and it's not good. And when he turns the ball over, it seemingly is in bunches. So, it's interesting because Brandon's really excited about Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold credits his turnaround a lot to Brock Purdy and how he prepares. Is it possible that Sam Darnold is a part of the Monstars and he left the ghosts in San Francisco with Brock Purdy? I'm just saying. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Well, there is word on the street that there was a voodoo priestess brought in, that they went to a Jezebel app as well. Just Sam doubled down, which is weird because he's supposed to be with God. So but hey, he's an NFL, sometimes the NFL career overrules all, I guess, you can't serve 2 masters. So I think that is very possible. I think the one thing I'd like to ask Jesse on this that might be an additional point is remembering, Jesse, that first year, 4 of the top 15 pass catching wideouts in the sport of football when Brock first was inserted into the lineup. He had the 4 top 15 in separation, yards per separation per route. And as those guys have been whittled away, as the Debos have whittled away, as the Brand Ayuk and the George Kittle's injured a lot, now he's throwing to guys that aren't getting as much separation, and it maybe puts a little bit more of his deficiencies on a bit brighter display, Jesse. Would that be a part of the puzzle too?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, listen, everybody needs help, and there's not a lot of help going on, to be fair. I mean, Brock Purdy certainly isn't getting near the help that he got early on, but he's never going to get that help again. The talent's never going to be that while he's getting paid. I mean, that's a part of the problem. And so, yeah, certainly that has something to do with it. But when you look at Brock Purdy and where he struggles, it's tight man coverage, it's press man, guys in the hips of the receivers. That's where the early struggle started. Well, now you're able to do that with zone because these guys aren't able to separate on a regular basis, and nobody's scared of the run game. So you go play action, Brock Purdy turns around, and they love to do those deep overs, dig routes and what have you. And you've got linebackers sitting in the middle of the field just staring at him, waiting, and he's throwing the ball anyways instead of taking the check down. So I don't know, there's a lot going on for sure, but the reality is Brock's got to be a better decision maker. He just does.
Jake, before I give you your praise, I got to give you my condolences. I'm sorry about your Yankees. They go up 1-0. They lose 3-1. They don't complete the late game comeback there. I saw they had a few guys on down 3-1 in the ninth. Didn't get it done.
A tear dropping down his cheek there.
I didn't want to mention it.
Not that. I'm used to it. Aaron Boone is a potato, and that's why they lost. That's why they
Brett
lost.
Boone.
Well, winning cures all, and at least your LA Rams got the W. They got their third W of the year, 3-1, 27-20 over the Colts. We learned the Colts are a real team, if not for anything else. We were questioning whether or not the Colts were a legitimate threat in the AFC with Daniel Jones. They looked like that against one of the best teams in the league in the Rams. 2 touchdowns erased. You had A.D. Mitchell with an incredible play. He fumbles before he crosses the pylon. Jonathan Taylor with an unbelievable 50-yard run. Holding brings that back. The game was 20-20 at that point, around the 2-minute mark. All that said, though, the Rams end up getting it done behind Matthew Stafford's 375-yard, 3-touchdown performance in Puka Nacua. What more can you say about this guy? 13 catches, $170 and a touchdown. Jake, right now your Rams are, a second half, and, we talked about it last week. They're a second half of not playing their best football from being undefeated, potentially the best team in the NFC, arguably still the best team in the NFC. What do you take away from the W over the Colts this past weekend?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Rams fans that are upset about the result, but I told you guys I was really high on the Indianapolis Colts. When I went through and watched the tape on them, I thought they were legit. I kept saying Daniel Jones is legit. Okay, this isn't just a fluke, and this isn't just bad teams. He played against Denver and won. They went on the road, so this is their first test of going against a good team on the road since they played Denver at Lucas Oil, and honestly, they played really well. Had they had Gone Caves at right guard and Alec Pierce at wide receiver, I mean, this game could have even been closer. So, there are definitely some moments like Adonai Mitchell fumbling out of the back of the end zone, which is one of those things where you're like, that doesn't happen to the Rams, but I'll take it. But at the same time, the Rams also had one of those plays where, Stafford's handing it off to Kyren Williams, and it's just an awful handoff to begin with. And, it's just one of those unforced errors, right? And so, to find a way to win those games, this is what separates the Rams from other Rams teams in the past. I always bring up the Jeff Fisher effect, right? A lot of Rams fans, including myself, used to watch Jeff Fisher football and say, man, we should be winning this game. Why are we not winning this game? We're outplaying them. Except when you realize, like when you have Sean McVay as your head coach and, you go on, you win a Super Bowl and you start to see what it's like to actually have a good football team again. You start to realize you were never actually dominating. You were never actually outplaying. You were being toyed with by better teams that can essentially do whatever they want to you when they know they're the better team. And right now, the Rams are essentially that team that can just kind of stick to your hip pocket like a cornerback covering a wide receiver and jump the route and make that game-winning play. And that's what they did. Cam Curl with 2 interceptions in this one to kick us off, and then, of course, to seal the deal. They had Tutu Atwell just chilling in their back pocket. He had 1 catch on 3 targets coming into this game. I said he'd have a bomb of a touchdown on, I don't know if I said it on this show, but I said he had it on another show. And he caught the game-winning touchdown, essentially. But right now, the biggest issues I have with this team, cornerback, I think Emmanuel Forbes, dude, is incredibly talented. But he's still far away from being considered a starting corner on a Super Bowl team. And I think we see that on that Adonai Mitchell play, getting coptered into Cam Curl. That just can't happen. That should have been picked. The ball looks like it was a good ball from Daniel Jones, but when you really look, there's no excuse. Emmanuel Forbes has to turn around and play that, just bad positioning. And then left guard, right? The pass protection isn't where it needs to be right now, but that's scary for anybody that's looking at the Rams right now because their offensive line isn't where it's going to be later in the year. And even still, Stafford's getting rid of the ball efficiently, accurately, and quickly. And right now, guys, I mean, the two best quarterbacks in the league, it's gonna shock you. But I believe the two best quarterbacks in the league right now in terms of production have been Matthew Stafford and Dak Prescott. They both lead the league. They're tied for the league in big-time throws. We saw what Dak did without CeeDee Lamb. I think it's finally time to give him his praise. But Matthew Stafford, it's like, what more can you say? I mean, he had a bad game against the Eagles. He owned up to it against the Colts team, that had 31 pressures on him. You wouldn't know that, right, guys? I mean, 375 yards, 3 touchdowns. How many quarterbacks in the league are putting up those numbers with 31 pressures on them for a game? So I came away really liking what I saw. Mike texted me in the middle of the game, like, you guys need to stop running the ball with Blake Corum. And I think I texted you, tell me something I don't know. I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me right now. Kyron Williams was like 6 yards a carry. I think at the time you texted me, it was like 7.9 yards a carry. Yeah. And they just keep running with Blake Corum, and he keeps getting stuffed by DeForest Buckner. And you're like, I don't know what's going on. But really, the Rams can kind of do whatever they want right now. And they're nowhere near a finished product. They're kind of figuring things out. And you can see because the 12 personnel, they went from running at the 11th highest clip in the league to running 11 personnel 85% of the time. So big reason because of Puka Nacua. And last thing I'll say, because I said this with the show I did with Jesse, behind enemy lines, Puka Nacua isn't just the best receiver in the NFL, folks. He is a top 3 NFL player. He is up there now with Josh Allen and Myles Garrett. And I'm not crazy for thinking that. Those are the 3 best players in the NFL. I don't care what order you put them in. Those are the 3 best players in the NFL.
Stafford has been unreal. Puka has been unreal. And Devontae Adams hasn't been half bad either when you add that into the mix. And then you had Tutu Atwell with that 88-yard touchdown. So things are rolling for the Rams. They'll look to keep it rolling this upcoming Thursday against Jesse's Niners. Speaking of which, let's head on over to Sleeper and build ourselves a Thursday night football Sleeper slip. We'll be watching this one in person, tracking to see if we nail this thing home at SoFi Stadium. I'll do this with Jesse. Actually, we'll do it with everybody because we're all going to be in person, so we'll all have something to root for here. Brandon, I'll start with you. What's one prop we should be on the lookout for on Sleeper on Thursday night?
So to me, the Puka one sliding too high right now, near 100 yards. I go to Devontae Adams at the 56. You got to feel like the Niners this week are actually going to do something the Colts refused to maddeningly not do last week, which is, can we just roll a little bit of bracket coverage in Puka's direction? I understand Devontae's a threat. I get it. I get that. Well, now you're letting Devontae go eat. Okay, but just force him to do something else. For the love of God, please. Don't just let him work 15 effing targets to one single guy. Bracket something like that. Do something, Like,
you're tired of
watching that game. It's just like, huh?
Are you tired of Puka Nacua?
Well, I'm tired of I don't like watching defenses just sort of lay over. And there was catches in that game where they're like off coverage, free release, no bracket over the top. You're like, what are we doing here, Indianapolis? Like, what are we doing? And it's not like us 5 catches. It's like, dude, 15 targets, like half of the throws over half the throws to Stafford. It's like, get a clue, DC.
So we'll see if Devontae Adams can have himself a night Thursday. More than 56.5 pass yards. Jesse, what's something we should look out for from your Niners on Thursday night?
Give me a Brian Robinson, a 16.5 rushing yards. Give me the more on that one.
Yeah.
Love it. We'll put that in. Jake, what's something that stands out to you here?
All right. So I'm going to go with 2 here. I'm going to take Kyron Williams receiving yards. And I'm going to take Demarcus Robinson touchdown because there's nothing more certain than a revenge petty ATD. And I say that all the time. It's why DK Metcalf was easy money playing against the Seattle Seahawks. You knew he was going to get the end zone. I bet you he was telling Rodgers every single time, if you don't get me the ball, man, I'm going to kill you. So, Demarcus Robinson was not brought back by the Rams. Les Snead even made a public statement about why. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a little revenge there.
Cool. A doubleheader from Jake. We'll add those to the slip. Then, Mike, close us out. What's something else we should add?
What's Matthew Stafford's passing yards at?
Well, it's a freebie. How about that? You can't beat that.
Let's take a freebie.
We'll take the freebie.
We know that Mike's got a winner for sure. I love it.
Look at Mike sniffing out the best.
Hopefully he doesn't
now you're going to
pull
start bragging. when it
There you go.
hits. Be like, see, you guys just need to get on my level.
Exactly. 100%.
Hopefully he doesn't pull a Jalen Hurts, who didn't pass that mark in the second half of this past week's game. So that's easier said than done, I suppose, getting over that half yard there.
He didn't do that in the first half of the game before. So
I know.
Yeah, true.
Maybe he actually had negative yards, I think, the last game,
he did.
right? So that's crazy. Well, there's the slip, folks, and it is a fat one. We have a 30X slip built here. We have more than 58.5 receiving yards for Adams. We have more than 18.5 rush yards for Robinson. We have Kyron with more than 9.5 receiving yards. Robinson getting an anytime touchdown, and the Stafford freebie 10 pays 300 on that one. Not too bad. If you want to get in on that and tell our slip or create your own, link in the description below. Click that and sign up for Sleeper. When you do, you get a 100% match up to $100 using the promo code RTS. So download Sleeper, the fastest organically growing real money and fantasy platform on the web. Get a 100% match up to $100 using promo code RTS on your first deposit. Available in over 25 states. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details and check out Sleeper in the link in the description below today. All right. Time to put our money where our mouth is. I can't wait, fellas. I seriously can't. I can't believe the time is already here to head out to LA to watch Rams Niners with all you beautiful people. It's going to be a ball. But who's going to win the football game? That's the big question. As we head out to LA, sink into our seats at SoFi, one of these two teams has to come away with a W, unless you're the Dallas Cowboys or the Green Bay Packers. We anticipate somebody winning this game. So who's it going to be? Brandon, I'll start with you. Who's taking the W when we watch this one go down Thursday night?
Oh, I wish this was a matchup where there was just a little bit better health for the Niners because I could break down the intricacies of that aspect of things. But this is where the injury thing takes it just too far beyond that. You saw Parasol limping around. It's a Thursday night game, a shortened week for the Niners. They've got injuries every which way but loose. They can't generate any pressure right now with Bosa out. It's kind of a worst case scenario in that way of things. Juwan Jennings even got cracked. I mean, something's got to be sore on him after that 2-point conversion. And so you're going to be like maybe having, Demarcus Robinson as like a number one target in this game. Say nothing of another place where, again, Jesse's fan base, some of them gave him a hard time this offseason for wondering about the fact that it looked like McCaffrey had lost a gear. He's lost a little bit of a gear. And it just kind of all boils down to a bottom line of the Rams are going to take this one easily, comfortably, probably like 30-17. And the 49ers will only really get the 17 points because they're able to mound up something near the end of this thing. But I don't see how they can withstand so many of the injuries that they've dealt with here to so many key positions. It's just too much. And it's just every week, one after another after another. It's gone to an extreme degree and one of the worst injury situations in the league, I think, if not the worst.
Man, Brandon anticipates we'll be walking the concourse looking at the concession options at some point in this game because he's got the Rams running away with it. How about you, Mike? What do you think goes down Thursday night?
I'm kind of known as the Rams hater on this roundtable, but I'm going to be looking at the positivity here for the Rams because just like Brandon said, I'm going to shadow that the injuries. That's what's going on, and usually I like to know. I usually like to ask, "Oh, hey Jesse, what's happening? Is it Purdy or is it Mac Jones?" It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in this game. I think the clear-cut number one team in this division is going to be the Rams. At least as of right now, within like 4 weeks of what we've seen, this team is legit, and I don't think the 49ers, although has the edge sometimes to kind of play that thorn in the side of the Rams. I think that they are going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be by a blowout. It's a division game, but I'm going to say 27-20. I say Rams win this game comfortably.
Jesse, you'll be in the stands with one of your 10,000 Niners hats. I'm not sure which one you're going to bring. Maybe you bring all of them. Maybe you're bringing a carry-on and you have a selection before we go in. But you'll be there watching your Niners. Will you be watching them get a W on Thursday night?
Oh, I wish I could say that I was, but before the season started, I had the 49ers sweeping the Seahawks. So far, we're halfway there. I had them splitting with the Cardinals. We got the one win there for sure. And I had them being swept by the Rams. And there's no reason not to pick the Rams here. There are too many injuries for the 49ers. And I think the Rams should make it fun. They should play Jimmy Garoppolo all game. Let's just see what happens here. Make it interesting for everybody. Listen, I do think that it'll be a little bit closer. I actually have the same exact score that Mike has. I said it earlier on Behind Enemy Lines, 27-20 Rams. The Rams are just a better team. I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. They just beat a 3-0 Colts team. They should have beaten an undefeated Eagles team as well. They are very, very good, and I think this is their division, and I think this is their win, unfortunately.
For all the reasons we're excited to go to this one, I forgot one more reason to be excited. It's the Jimmy Garoppolo revenge game. I completely forgot about that. So, Jake, with that in mind, who ends up winning this one? You'll be there, right? Last time you were there didn't go your way. You were there against the Eagles, right? So you're hoping for some redemption this time around. Do you get that redemption at SoFi on Thursday night?
Yeah, so when I've seen Rams games, and this goes back to when they were bad, they're 7-2 when I go to games. The only two losses they had, Sean McVay's first ever loss with the Rams and the loss last year against the Eagles. Fun fact, the Rams' last 12 games have won 9 games. They've only lost 3, but the 3 losses have all come against the Eagles. So they haven't lost to anybody else in that span. I think they're going to win this game. But it's going to be a little close. I'm going to go, it's 20-17, and late in the game, they score a touchdown, make it 27-17 in the Hemi G Bowl. I think that's what you can expect. I think the Rams are the better team, and we all know that. The 49ers are not 100%, but I also would say, even if the 49ers were 100%, I'd still pick the Rams. I still think the Rams are the better team. I know Jesse does as well. So that's kind of where I am on that. My real question is Brock Purdy actually better than Mac Jones? That I couldn't tell you for sure.
Can't wait to tell the grandkids that I was in attendance for the Jimmy G Bowl, man. They are going to revel in that. They're going to be like, no way you were cool enough to be in attendance, but we will be. Let's go from Thursday night.
Ice, really.
I know. It really is. I mean, we're going to be talking about it like one of the all-time greats, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Sunday night or Sunday afternoon as well. We have a great slate of games in Week 5, including the Tennessee Titans taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals looking to end that 2-game losing streak here, and they are primed in a position to be able to do so against the winless Titans. Brandon, do they win against the winless Titans at home this upcoming Sunday?
Yeah, Cam Ward is a really fun number 1 overall pick to watch work in his first year, but that Tennessee Titan is what we thought they were, which is that's not a roster that should be starting a number 1 quarterback, first-round quarterback. You should probably just let that guy sit because he's going to be in too much chaos. There's going to be too much asked on his shoulders to go try to win. And with that defensive line of the Cardinals, I believe Robinson got his first sack last week for them, so maybe he's kind of coming to life still. Hopefully Calais Campbell's all right. He was kind of limping up at the end of that game. I think that's going to be enough for them to get him under duress and get his decision-making a little bit flustered, and then get those bad throws mixed in with the great throws he can make in the game to give you the opportunity to pick off the ball, make the interceptions. The Cardinals are going to come out this highly motivated. They've got a little bit of an extra rest after the bye, and I just don't believe in what the Titans are doing for this particular year. I think they're a little bit of a reactionary franchise, a little bit in how they operate, and so I think they look like one of the kind of quasi dregs of the league. And I do think the Cardinals are better than that. And I think they're going to be more motivated than where the Titans are, where they're probably just about ready to kind of roll over and show their belly.
Jesse, Cardinals, Titans. Do the Titans roll over and show that belly Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, I think so. I'll keep this short and sweet. I think the Arizona Cardinals are just a better team. Tennessee's not very good, and they can't score a lot of points. And I think Arizona has a pretty good defense. So I'm going to go 20-9 Arizona.
Yeah, Titans coming off of a blowout, 26-0 loss to a Houston Texans team that wasn't able to score anything up until Sunday afternoon. So, Jake, who takes this one? Cardinals getting it done against the Titans?
They are. This will be a comfortable game. I think this is a game where you can get Trey Benson going. This Titans team really struggles to stop the run. And, on a separate show, I typically pick the top performers of the week. And Trey Benson was my top performer. I think he's going to go off in this game personally. I have the Cardinals winning this game 26-13. I think it's just going to be a really good game for them. It doesn't matter, who they play this week. It's just, they got to get this win. They got to get back on the high side. They got to get to 3-2. And I think they do that. The Titans, like Brandon said, I totally agree. Cam Ward is really fun to watch on film. The problem is, there's a lot of issues going on. J.C. Latham getting hurt really screwed them up. And giving $20 million to Dan Moore was a colossal mistake that, we knew when they made it. So it's really caused problems. And I hate to say this, but I don't know how great Brian Callahan is as a head coach. I don't think he's the guy personally. So I think they have talent on that roster, and they should have a win by now. But I haven't been ultimately impressed by the coaching from Brian Callahan. So I have the Cardinals winning.
Mike, do your Cardinals bounce back this Sunday?
Oh, I mean, just to quote Cam Ward earlier this week, if keeping it a buck, we're ass right now. So I hope that the Arizona Cardinals could take advantage of a team that's feeling the way that they're feeling right now. Obviously, they are a team that's not well coached, just not everything isn't going to the favor for them. And that's kind of the unfortunate part about those first overall picks, right? I don't think this fan base should be out on Cam Ward. It's just the team in general is just not very good. The defense, they got some good defensive pieces over there, but not enough to put it all on the field. I mean, what I'm looking for here in this game, to be real with you, I do think that the Cardinals are going to win. Now, is it going to be comfortably or is it going to be really close? That's going to be the deciding factor as to, are we stepping in the right direction or are we panicking again heading into the next week versus the Colts? And I don't want to overlook this Titans team, but you got to go into State Farm Stadium in week 5 after losing 2 straight losses in heartbreaking fashions with 2 field goals, back-to-back losses. You got to go in here and prove that you are trending in the right direction and learning that your offense is getting better and better and better. And like I said before, if you want to have a little bit of hope of glimmer, that last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, if you need to do more of that to get this offense going, then please, for the love of God, do that. I need the Arizona Cardinals to come into this game and dominate in order for me to be excited next week versus the Colts. So I do have the Cardinals winning this game. I kind of have a little bit of a toss-up in my head. I want to lean on the side of optimism. I'm going to say 31-17 Cardinals because that's going to help me sleep better at night. But I hope to damn hell this offense better be better.
Let's stay in the Sunday 4 p.m. window, and man, what a game is this going to be. A battle of 3-1 teams, a battle of 2 quarterbacks from the 2018 draft class that were pretty much considered to be broken goods. And now all of a sudden, look at them. They're playing some of the best football in the NFL. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road taking on the Seattle Seahawks. This should be one of the best games of the weekend. Jesse, who takes it, the Bucs or the Hawks?
Man, I really respect the Bucs. I see them play a ton. Baker Mayfield is balling right now. Anybody who has watched Baker Mayfield in the past and thinks he's not a good quarterback, you need to watch again. This guy is extremely good. He doesn't give up, and he's just turned his career around. It's really, really cool to see. Let's not forget that him and Sam Darnold were on the Carolina Panthers once upon a time together, which is pretty interesting, and now they're facing off and have both turned their careers around a bit. So as much as I think the Bucs are a good team, and I think they're going to be one of those teams late in the season that are there, right now they're very banged up, and they are traveling east to west, and I just think that it's going to be too much. And Seattle's defense is for real, for sure. So I'm going to go 24-20 Seahawks.
Jake, Hawks, Bucs, a huge game on Sunday here in Week 5. Who wins it?
Oh man, this is going to be a banger. Unfortunately, the Bucs are banged up as it is, as Jesse said. I mean, no Mike Evans. Obviously their right tackle's out, so they're dealing with some issues. But I just think Seattle, that loss to the 49ers, and I mean no disrespect to the 49ers, that was as fluke of a loss as it gets. I think the Seattle Seahawks here in Week 5 are a way better team than Week 1. I should probably have them higher in my power rankings because I continue to let that fluke loss get to me. It shouldn't. They're a top 10 team, maybe even higher than top 10. And I think they prove it this week. I think they're going to get after Baker Mayfield. I think he's going to make some plays, but I think Sam Darnold is going to be asked to go down the field and win the game, and they will do that 27-20 Seattle.
Mike, Buccaneers, Seahawks, which one of these teams is 4-1 by the end of Sunday?
Yeah, I am seeing a lot of injuries for the Bucs. I think there's also a report that came out here for Bucky Irving being up in the air right now, and I think that's kind of contingent on that in terms of if the Bucs are going to keep this a close game or not. I mean, they do have Godwin as well coming back. He did not look too great. I think he had like 10 targets, 1 reception or 2 receptions. It wasn't really good, but obviously he's barely coming back from an injury. I think this is really contingent of Irving if he's going to go there or not. I know they got White over there, Rashad White. Not as explosive as he used to be. There's some injuries there, but I don't know, man. There's something about Baker Mayfield, man. He's a no give up type of mentality. He's got that dog in him. He's so fun to watch, and he can stand up with the linebacker and he would just talk, man. He talks to talk, man. And that's one thing that I really do love about Baker. So I'm never going to roll him out. I'm going to go against the grain here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go over with the Buccaneers. I will say 33-27 Bucs win this game.
Brandon, an opportunity for a statement W on Sunday. Will you be wearing the shades this time next week on the NFC West Roundtable?
I will. The gentleman prior to me covered it a little bit, but just to put this in perspective, again, it's not just your right tackle out, it's your right guard, Cody Mock, out for the year as well. The head coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was so kind of flustered by the amount of guys getting MRIs this past week. He couldn't even remember all of them, including the aforementioned Bucky Irving. He's like, I don't know. It's weird. They've got two slots playing right now at the same point in time on the football field, in Emeka and in Godwin, and that is out of necessity. And so they are not challenging teams deep right now with this passing attack. And these receivers are not generating separation. When you put a slot to the outside, that's just what you see. They are 31st in the NFL at generating separation per route run. And so I think the Seahawks are really going to be able to put the clamps on them offensively. And then defensively, it's the same story, where no Kalijah Cansey, dynamic 3-tech for them. Their edge group is weaker than it's been in prior years. They've got injuries across the board in that secondary, and they're going to do this domino thing where their slot's going to move outside and their safety is going to move down to the slot. And it just seems like it's kind of messy for a week where Seattle's going to have a little bit of rest. You got to come all the way across the country up to Seattle. I got my Seahawks winning this 2017. As far as the final part that gives me confidence on this is the Bucs got to blitz because they can't generate pressure off the front four. And something Sam Darnold's done really good so far is if you blitz him, he's got an answer dialed up to go after you.
Week 5 predictions are locked in. We'll be talking about what goes down, same place you're at right now, same time next week on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. All right, 45 minutes in the books. That means it's time for the best part of the show. It is Super Chat time. Brandon, if you would be so kind. A little late on the trigger there. It's all right.
It never gets old.
Brandon's daydreaming about that trip to LA. As
I
we
am.
all are.
Oh, yeah.
Let's kick it off with our main girl, Megan. She's saying, what a weekend. Sydney for Back to the Future, the musical. Got to meet my hero, Bob Gale, and had photos with him. Oh, yeah. And the Hawks had a win, so there is that. How about Megan? She went
Nice, Megan.
to the musical. We've been hearing about it for weeks. Sounds like she had an even better time than we could have anticipated, meeting Bob Gale, getting some photos. Her Hawks get the W. What a weekend it was for Megan, and we appreciate you, as always, getting in here with the Super Chat. Let's go to Feed Me More. Is Leonard Williams Kyler Murray's Aaron Donald?
Yes, the new boogeyman has arisen, unfortunately. Yeah, I do think that, yeah.
Nowhere near, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, nowhere near. Aaron Donald was freaking wrecking ball. Like, his one-man wrecking crew. No, but I would say that he's taken that role. Whenever Kyler plays against the Seahawks, he just makes some really silly mistakes.
By the way, we have 700
Brown
of you
out there at left guard. You got to get a left guard that's not Evan Brown, who really should have been just a center and probably not even really an NFL starting caliber center at that.
He was pretty solid last year, and I think that's what the Cardinals were banking their bunk on. Will Hernandez, we're hoping comes back. We don't know when he's coming back, but he's trending in the right direction. We'll have to see when that comes out.
I want to give a shout out, by the way, 700 of you in here on a late Tuesday night. If you could, like button and subscribe button while you're in here. We appreciate every single last one of you tuning in for this week 4 recap. Let's move over to Stockton. Jake, missing the Yankees comeback? I think I saw out of the corner of your eye. You were watching that go down in the ninth.
Yeah, I wanted to die. I knew it was going to be it's just such a tease. I'll say this. I hate pitch counts. Hate them. I get rid of them. I don't even want to see them. Taking out your best pitcher, not willing to go down. It just, I don't know. I hate it. I don't want to talk about it. I know I'm going to have to talk about it for 2 hours after this show. So
yeah, it makes it worse that it's the Sox too on top of it. But we'll see if they can bounce back in game 2.
I think they will. I'll just say that. I think they will. I think they win the next 2. I just really wanted to have kind of peace of mind, win this game. Then we're in LA because it's going to be a pain in the ass. This is going to be going on when we're in LA, Yeah. So
I've always just found it insane that 182 season comes down to a 3-game series. I think that's absolutely insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's insane that the next round is a 5-game series. Just schedule the season better. They're like, oh, well, we can't have it going into November. Why not? It's better than
like about 15 games off the Major League Baseball.
Yeah, that's the thing. Condense the schedule is the answer.
Yeah. It's awful. It's literally so ridiculous because the 5 games, it should all be 7-game series. If you want to do the wild card as a 5-game, fine. The 3 games ridiculous. The 1 game, you remember that, right? There used to be a 1-game playoff.
Crazy.
It's awful. Yeah.
Well, we'll see if the Yanks can bounce back. Hopefully they do for Jake's sake. Stockton coming back in.
I appreciate it.
Please clarify the itinerary for the show and game plans for Thursday. Email said 11 a.m. Thursday, but you guys are saying how it's tomorrow. I'll see you guys there. Yeah, so to clarify, I can understand why that was a bit confusing. we're flying out there tomorrow. So I think we kept talking about Wednesday as if it was a thing. It's just us getting there on Wednesday. So Stockton, yes, everything's going down on Thursday. Now I'm an East Coast guy. So 11 a.m. I'm like, what the hell? This game's at prime time. But I think that is West Coast time. So the plan Thursday, we'll be doing a show at a restaurant near the venue, of course, near SoFi Stadium. So we'll be doing that pregame, then heading over to the lots, pregaming before the game, then all going in together. So everything's going down Thursday. Anybody want to add anything that I might be missing here?
No, I think that's
all good.
That's pretty much it.
Do we know the location where they're meeting at 11 at which place it's at?
It's in the email. Yeah, it's a restaurant. Food will be provided and everything. So
yep. And it is a Mexican restaurant. So I don't know. I mean, that narrows it down to probably 1,000. I don't know the exact name, but it is a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
We also can't say where it is because then it's going to get mobbed. But
True.
Then all the Seahawks and Cardinals fans will invade, right? And they'll take it over.
Right.
That'll happen.
Unexpected savage. Time to plant the flag. Puka is the number 1 wide receiver. He beats zone, man, he blocks, and even can rush for a TD. Also, Stafford making a case for MVP. Also, Young is a sneaky possibility for Defensive Player of the Year. And Jake, you just said not all that long ago, not only do you think Puka's the number 1 wide receiver, you think he's a top 3 player in the entire league.
Oh, yeah, no, I do. And the thing I forgot to mention is, the blocking. That's the thing. He's basically playing like a wide receiver tight end hybrid, and it's allowing the Rams to not have to go into the 12 personnel and getting to stay in 11 and having those 3 wide receivers out there, and you can use Jordan Whittington as a move blocker as well. It's really allowing the Rams to do different things and be able to run out of the 11 personnel and not really just show your hand, because every time they went in the 12 personnel, now teams are stacking the box. They know you're going to run it, but when you're in 11. Now you're getting those lighter boxes, and Kyron was taking advantage of that in that Colts game.
Jason Lutz coming in. What are your quarter season overreactions, and what's flying under the radar for your teams? In a brief summary here, I'll start with you, Brandon. What would be the answer to that for your Hawks?
Overreactions for the Hawks right now? Man, that's a really deep question. Could start out with somebody else. Let me think about that for a second.
Sure. Anybody got one right off the bat that they can think of? Mike?
The Cardinals offense sucks. They're not going to get it right. That's the overreaction. Just kidding. And then flying under the radar. This defense is actually pretty solid. That defensive line, the upgrades that they've done is wonders for the Arizona Cardinals. So that would be mine.
Jake?
Hold on. Let me put up the schedule because I don't know how many games, if any, I think the Rams will actually lose right now.
Jesse?
I mean, the overreaction is that the 49ers are not going to make the playoffs, and it definitely could look that way, but they have a lot of good players coming back, and the schedule is very easy, so I still think playoffs are totally on the table.
Maybe an underreaction right now, under the radar, anything?
Under the radar?
Mac Jones?
Washed? Are we not talking about that enough?
Brandon, you pondered on it. Anything come to mind?
Well, there's not much in the fan base that's overreaction because there's so many kind of positive vibes. I guess that the run game's not going to get better, that it's stuck in place and there'll be no improvement over the course of the season. And then maybe under the radar, how about Darian Kendrick is the number 1 rated cornerback by Pro Football Focus? Just my weekly thank you to Jake. You guys are so
he wouldn't have played anyway. That's the
thing.
I know.
He
would have played. It's it sucks.
I got it. Thank you.
It sucks, but he plays.
Just keep handing him. That's all I'm saying. I'll take all the excuses with it. Just bottom line of it, you just guys keep just feeding us. All right.
Hey,
just keep feeding us.
I mean, hey, you can have him. We got Akello whenever he's healthy.
Mike, Jesse, you guys can get in on this. We don't have to be the only one. We're just gobbling the whole dish up. If you guys want to stay on the sidelines, that's when you can. But they're handing out for you guys.
Gobbling is nasty work. Let's keep it
let's keep it PG here.
I think you can refer to it as "feed me more Seahawks." Brandon is basically what you're referring to.
Yeah,
feed me more Seahawks.
There we go.
By the way, guys, I don't know. Did you guys? I forget who said. Mike? Was it you that said the Rams had a tougher schedule? Or whatever.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I don't. Where did you see that? Because I was thinking that, and I was like, I don't.
Well, I think
the Texans.
You saw the Eagles, you saw the Ravens, the Texans.
Yeah,
maybe early on. But
that's what I was talking about early on. I thought they were going to get you, and that the Texans I thought were going to be better, and they really disappointed me.
And I mean, the crazy thing is, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, Baltimore obviously they don't look great right now. But like Jacksonville looks a lot. I disagree with you, Jesse. I think Jacksonville is legit. That defense is. I think it's really good.
No, I think that they're. I mean, I think that they're a well put together team. They're like efficient. But they're so. Wait till you watch them play.
They have
for real.
Trevor
Like,
Lawrence.
It's dumb. They're dumb as
They're
F.
so dumb. They're so dumb.
Jake, if you watch that game last week with it, when you watch the tape on it, there are so many moments where they do stupid things, and like Lawrence, he can't even take a knee without it being a theatrical event that like gets one of his guys injured and his coach is freaking on the sideline. They had 14 penalties or something, like 9 of them are pre-snap.
I'm not I mean, Jesse knows. I'm not a Trevor Lawrence fan at all. That's my biggest issue with them. I think he holds them back, but aside from him, they look good. But yeah, like the Colts, that was a way tougher game than I expected before the season, But I mean, like looking at it, Saints, Niners, Seahawks. So like Seahawks, Tampa, and the Lions. But like, I also don't think the Lions are that good. Like I know a lot of people are really high on them.
He doesn't hate him anymore, by the way. He does not hate Detroit. Jake
let's go.
I don't hate him, but
we got to check the sustainability on that lack of hate. I think that was the 1 week.
Exactly. Thing. We'll see what happens there. We'll keep an eye on that. Yeah. Dylan, he's coming in. What a game Thursday Night Football was. Best game I've been to. Sat next to FaZe Adapt unexpectedly. What a cool dude. Amazing till the fourth quarter and some horrendous officiating. But most importantly, we got the dub. Dylan, glad you had a great time. Thursday Night Football. Love that. Freddie K coming in. Z-Bot, the NFC Roundtable email I got says it's all in one day on October 2nd. Is it still on for Wednesday? Yeah, so as I just mentioned a couple minutes ago, all day Thursday. So make sure to check the email. The email you got is accurate. Everything on there is exactly what's happening. So follow all the instructions on there, and you'll be good to go. Looking forward to seeing you, Freddie. We're going to have a ball. Thomas coming in. Hawks did good, but Buccaneers will show how good Seattle is until, I believe, in Darnold. This is a prove-it game for Thomas, Brandon.
It's fair enough. I wish the Bucs were at a bit more of a bigger challenge in this. Like I said, they can't even generate pressure, and they're not blitzing because they want to blitz. They're blitzing at a high rate because they have to blitz. And so this will be a test. I think we're not going to maybe learn until we get a little bit more of a healthier, good team on that. It's still going to be a good team, but I don't think it's us playing at home. Big difference on that one. Might be pushed a little bit into the evening. The Bucs are going to be starting the game at like maybe potentially 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock their time when it's in their body clock time. I mean, so you're right. It's another thing to show off what he is. I'm just hoping that I can get a little bit of, like I did with Gino on some of the panel on this last year. I'm just hoping I got some of the panel starting to come my way now. You boys were over there on that far side.
On the Darnold side, you're way over there. That guy is buns. Oh my gosh, he's terrible.
Yeah, Gino doesn't look so good.
No, well, and it's just another representation with Gino. Did Gino suddenly fall on his face going to the Raiders this year, or is it the fact that Raider organization is in horrendous shape?
He just stayed being Gino.
They also have DJ Glaze at right tackle. He had 55 pressures given up last year.
Yikes.
Yeah. I mean, it's I think any quarterback in that environment is going to look like ass, but that's also kind of my bottom line on my outlook of quarterbacks at times. I think the supporting parts add up a lot more to the man, more than the man adds up to the supporting parts.
Speaking of ass, the man on the wrong side of the butt fumble, Mark Sanchez, the Cardinals flour tortilla jerseys need to be retired along with the entire rivalries uni. Man, I'm sorry, Mark. It's a bad take. Those uniforms were sweet. Mike, what they did with the end zone and then changing the midfield logo, that was killer. I loved it.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I mean, I guess if you want to call it flower tortilla, whatever. But I mean, that end zone was beautiful, man. They did a great job overall. Like, that was probably the highlight of the whole entire game, to be real with you. Like, just how it all came out. The Cardinals did a good job. And the rivalry jerseys, man, I like them, man. I think they're cool.
I just wish they didn't look like skid marks.
Yeah, it's just it's a same thing you get with like a diarrhea spray. Like, I don't know.
It's sand, guys, sand.
That was a sweet uniform matchup, though. The all blue with the Seahawks. I'm glad they did that. I love when they contrast perfectly like that. If they would have wore the gray pants, I wouldn't have loved it as much. That was a cool uniform matchup. Dolphins rivalries last night, though. Ugh, yeah, I just
don't think you can make that black work with that color scheme.
No,
like, I thought it looked good for a black uniform, but those colors don't go with black.
No. The Bills
are getting an all-time rivalry unit. We're getting an all-time uni game this upcoming week with the Hawks. Throwback Tampa Bay, throwback Seahawks, both in the same game.
Are they actually doing that?
Nice. Yeah, this week.
The all-white creamsicles versus the best throwback in the game, the Seattle Seahawks. That is, you said it, Brandon. That's an all-time uniform matchup.
Them.
That's going to be awesome. That's added incentive to watch what might be the game of the weekend. That's going to be a hell of an outing. Jackson coming in. I was at the Cardinals game. I was booing after the Marv drops and the flea flicker drive. Well, I'm glad you stuck around, Jackson. You were treated to a good ending at least. Marvin Harrison came around a little bit. I know it didn't go the way you would have wanted to, but some positives to take away there, I'm sure.
Yeah, there was a rain of parade, man. A lot of boos from Cardinal fans. Everybody was pissed off of the first 3 quarters, and rightfully so. They looked terrible.
Yeah, the first half was just
that flea flicker play, dude. That thing, we must have seen it coming from a mile away because we never blitz, and we blitz both our corners on that.
Stockton back in again. Yanks gag again. Bases loaded, no outs, and can't score. Man, Jake, they're letting you have it here.
I mean, yeah, that's what happens. Dodgers fans are brutal, and I can already tell this person's a Dodger fan. And I'll tell you this right now: the Yankees didn't get to play the Reds, who won 83 games. Get off my back.
Ouch. Stockton slap. I'd expect no less with a handle like that.
Yeah. Mo Maggot, sleeper available in Washington this week. Ooh, we know Mo Maggot's going to get in on the sleeper picks with it becoming available in Washington. Love to hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Also saying, have the NFC West Roundtable parlays been hit? And I got to go back and look. Let's start tracking this week, though. We already crafted ours up for Thursday. Yeah. And it is a long shot. But if it hits, we'll let you know. Especially Mike's pick. He's got the freebie, so he's locked in. We'll see if everybody else can do their part. Thomas is coming in. Jesse, I saw your podcast and agree totally with your opinion of Purdy. It reminds me of Russ and Geno debates the past few years.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Again, there's a lot of homers that want to just like keep selling wolf tickets on what Purdy is and what he's not. My favorite thing is I'll do post-game shows on games that everybody just got done watching, and then people will box score scout it and throw out stats. I'm like, we have eyes, right? Like we all just watched what happened. I don't care what the stats say.
Unexpected Savage back in again. If Stafford gets Puka Offensive Player of the Year or Triple Crown, does this solidify a spot in the Hall of Fame for him? Him leading Megatron, Cup, and Puka to historic season should. I feel like Stafford's already a Hall of Fame.
He's already in.
Yeah, I mean, they said he needed to win a ring, and he did. And then I feel like some people move the goalposts even more because they're like, well, he didn't win the Super Bowl MVP. It's like, yeah, because you numbskulls didn't vote for him. He's the only quarterback in NFL history to win a Super Bowl, throw 3 touchdowns in said Super Bowl, and not win Super Bowl MVP. And it was entirely because they didn't want to give it to him because they said that was a stupid decision for the Rams. But yeah, the goalposts, as much as it's been moved, I think we all can agree Stafford's a Hall of Famer. Every week we're talking about him doing something crazy, and people still want to kind of ignore him. So it is what it is.
The hay's in the barn. This is not a question. The hay's in the barn.
Yeah.
He won't win MVP because they'll use the Puka Nacua argument against him. So he has no chance of winning an MVP. So I hope that's not held against him because that's not happening.
John's coming in. He's saying, Brandon, as Christopher Walken would say, the only thing worse than not having a franchise quarterback is actually having the wrong franchise quarterback. Looking at you, Cardinals and 49ers. You want to go ahead and read that back to me, Brandon? Or should I say Chris?
John Naylor, I tried hard. I said, look, 53 million, man. No, Jesse. He said, look, we can get out soon. I said, okay, good for you on that. And then Mike with Kyler. Oh, Kyler, this top 10, that. No, he's not. Sorry, Mike. He's top 20. And now you got to cut him. So sad. Walking cries. Cries bad.
Scene.
Beautiful I never once said he was top 10, by the way. I've never in my life.
Yeah,
I know you didn't, but it's so funny.
You could do what I told Mo Frere the lot. Don't start. I got the receipts on this, so we can go back to my original arrival here on this planet last year. That was definitely where people were starting at, and these two gentlemen here included. Yes, you, Jesse, too. Yeah, he's around that
I
top
never said he was
stage.
top 10. No,
top
no.
10?
Find that for me.
Top half.
Find that for me.
Top half, probably.
He's always been top half, but
it was not. Well, the reason it stuck is because it stood out to me when you guys mentioned it when I first walked in. I'm like, really? Because you guys were so ardently on the thing of anti-Geno, and then you'd bring up to then Kyler of it being in the top 10. I'm like, wait a second.
Definitely a top tier talent, I would have said, but he's not.
We might have said
not
better than Geno.
I mean,
I promise you
initially I was
it was top
anti-Geno,
10.
and then I started really liking Geno. So much so I actually thought he would turn the Raiders around. Oh, I was wrong on that one.
I'm absolutely remembering this one correctly.
I gotta see it. You gotta pull those receipts because
I'll go find those receipts.
I know what we're doing tomorrow. All
Yeah,
right.
we're gonna find it.
Archives. Yeah, we're going.
We'll
I
dive
got a
deep
2-hour
into that.
drive, just nothing but time. Coming to LA.
Brandon, while he's driving, just straight looking through just months of YouTube stuff, like where is it? Propa's coming in. Are the Bills ever going to play a road game, Z-Bot? Well, not this week. Whiteout in Orchard Park with the rivalries uniforms, the all-white unis. Everyone in the crowd is asked to wear white. That's going to be awesome. You guys are going to want to watch that Sunday Night Football.
Early October, by the way.
Yeah, I know people are getting mad about that, but the problem is that it's a lot tougher to wear all white when you have to wear 9 layers to a game. So I think that's probably why they're doing it when they're doing it. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, the whole blizzard effect for late October or for late September, early October isn't necessarily the most ideal time for it. But Propa, to answer your question, Monday Night Football, not this upcoming week, but the week after, will be against the Atlanta Falcons on the road in Atlanta. Then after their bye, they'll be on the road at Carolina. What a schedule the Bills drew. My goodness.
Hey, I'm rooting for the Bills then the following week.
That you are? That drop?
It's always Falcons hate. So
damn right.
Not always, just this year. Sorry, Falcons fans. Screw the Commanders, by the way. You got to be kidding me. Of course they play him without Jaden Daniels.
Is this going to be one of those things where the Cardinals try to do that with the Texans, but the Falcons are going to be like much better than you think?
No, because I don't think Michael Penix is that good.
Fair.
I know he had a good game against the Commanders, but there's like a handful of teams out there, the Commanders, Cowboys, that you can just throw all day on. They're just absolutely, they have like no secondary. So, yeah, I don't. Now, like Falcons are, I'm back in on the Penix trade. It's like, well, where were you last week, right? So is this week you're going to tell me Penix is out? No, he's on a bye, but bye and then going to play the Bills? No, they're going to get the crap kicked out of them.
Boo's coming in. He's saying, Jake, the Yankees lose. 1 BJ is greater than 9. Yeah, oh, wow. How about that? I haven't heard that one. That's phenomenal. Bravo. Up from Canada. Boo's he's got the one-liners up in Canada. He's also adding the Go Hawks. That's that Seahawks humor right there, I suppose.
Good Lord.
David Pugh. The feel-good story of Purdy is over. He's now dealing with a realistic season-by-season NFL roster. And he's playing like his roster is from 2019. Darnold has shown to be the better athlete and better decision-maker, all caps, mistake.
Hold on, I got this, C-Bot.
Now you know the rest of the story.
Now you know the rest of the story.
Enough said, Jesse.
Listen, I don't know about Sam Darnold being better, but either way, Brock Purdy's just not. Yeah, he's just not a very good quarterback. I mean,
don't tell that one
fine.
dude that.
Again,
on the internet.
he's mediocre at best right now. So
that one dude on the internet would tell you that his EPA is higher than you believe.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that one
such
dude
a
on the
nuts,
internet
dude.
like that. Don't listen to those guys.
Dave's firing shots all over the place. He's coming back in saying, Mike, don't ever tell yourself or anyone that Kyler Murray is a good quarterback and better than Darnold ever again. The toddler hasn't shown to be a good quarterback since 2021. Love you, though, bud. Go Hawks.
I got nothing to say. Congrats. I got nothing to say.
Oh, man, Dave.
Oh, man, you broke Mike.
Yeah. Dave with a full artillery.
Now he's going to text me, don't run it with Blake Corum.
Exactly.
Just starts
Feed me more.
malfunctioning.
Just wait until the double teams are off of Devontae Adams.
Are they doing that with Jake, or are they doing that with the Devontae? Is the doubles going to him rather than the Puka?
Not really, no. Yeah, I don't know. Like from what I've seen, they haven't really been doubling him. They just threw what's his face on him the whole game, Charvarius Ward, and he took all the attention. And guys, I don't know if you've seen Xavier Howard in 2025, but he just tackles receivers. It's the funniest thing ever because they don't call it. So he just tackles receivers before the ball gets there. And Puka just caught everything, so it wasn't a big deal.
My favorite YouTube username on the internet, Bronze Sausage, coming in 24-21 Hawks. Go Hawks. You guys are great. Nice and concise. Bronze Sausage always has something good to say. He's got the Hawks beating the Bucs this upcoming Sunday. Roger Morales. Mike with the jinx for the Rams.
I'm trying to give you guys kudos. What the hell? No, I'm
come
no
on.
jinx here.
We can't be throwing shade at Mike when he actually agrees with the
Yeah,
right.
Mike can't win with these Rams.
He thinks Mike's got the power of the universe on him, and he reverses courses, and it's going to move like a butterfly effect that will cause a cascading loss down to the Rams Thursday night.
Right.
I'll say this: jinxing isn't real. So
True.
Hate to break it to you.
Until it isn't. Mo Maggot, which organization is in a worse spot, Arizona or San Francisco?
Who can get out of the quarterback contract the fastest?
Yeah.
We got one.
Certainly not the Niners. Yeah.
And our money situation is really good. So
yeah, the 49ers kind of cleared all their fat. They kind of trimmed that all this offseason. And Mike, the Cardinals still have cap, right?
They do. They still have cap. They have a lot of cap, and that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people are confused why we didn't do a lot of things that we wanted them to do.
That's what I was confused with.
Yeah. So
I would say
cap.
It's a stalemate. I'd say they're about the same.
Roughly the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, based on what I'm hearing online, maybe one of these two teams ends up with Lamar Jackson next year, based on every tweet that I keep reading. So we'll see what happens there.
Jesse's been hot to trot for Lamar for years. That would be a
dude. I threw out a trade 2 years ago. I said, "What about Purdy and or Lance and Bosa before they signed Bosa?" And everybody's like, "You're an idiot." And I'm like, "Okay, well, where are you at now?" Because that was clearly a trade that the 49ers would have won.
Yeah.
Michael Bicknell, congrats to Darnold and Stafford for a great start to the season, and to $53 million man and the toddler. Keep seeing those ghosts. Go Hawks.
Damn.
Man, the Seahawks fan base is just on fire tonight. Brandon, kudos.
We're feeling ourselves a little bit. It's 3-1. We we got Stafford. Darnold's looking good. There was a little bit in question on that. So,
they're complimenting Stafford too. Man, Seahawks fans are nice.
I'll tell you who's not nice, Jake Stockton. He's letting you have it on these Yanks. He goes, Yanks, bases loaded, no outs, and it's Boone's fault? ?
I mean, Boone took out the starting pitcher that hadn't given up a run, and the moment he took him out, the guy who came in gave up 2 runs and cost him the game. So, yes, it's Boone's fault.
Stockton, make sure to tune in to Yankees Unloaded after this, where Jake's going to unload on those Yanks. You can get your fill there. That's going to be good. Ian... AKA Rams Up Podcast. Looking forward to meeting everyone Thursday and talking ball. Nothing better than an NFC West primetime game. Wear blue on Thursday, my fellow Rams fans. Ian, we can't wait to meet you as well. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait to see you in just a couple of days here. Mo Maggot, AZ, for the good of the division, do not lose to the ass. By the way, those are the words of Cam Ward, the ass Titans. You can't do it, Mike. You can't do it to the division. Got to have some pride for the division. According to
I agree.
Cam Ward deserves to have some actual success in this league, because everything that comes out of that dude's mouth is absolutely newsworthy. He is a funny dude.
It's crazy how candid some of these quarterbacks are. By the way, you'll hear something, you're like, man, but he's not wrong. It's kind of like you have to split the baby between being real and also being like, damn, I can't believe we just said this team is ass. You know what I mean?
He hasn't had the PR traded yet, man. Those are good as gold, because he's going to be a robot in 5 years.
Feed Me More saying, appreciate you never leaving as our host, Z-Bot. Feed Me More. Where would I go? Amen. This is right where I want to be. This is home. Yeah. You kidding me? I'm going nowhere, and I love every second of every show, and I appreciate every one of you tuning in each and every week. It's a great, great thing to be a part of, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. Duce's coming in. Can't believe the NFL season is... Oh, don't say that, Duce. Don't frame it like that. He's saying the NFL season is 20% over. Keep doing your thing, Roundtable. Go Rams. It just started, didn't it? For God's sakes, but he's right. It is 20% over.
Hey, you're
8%. Jake, you're only 1/7 of the way through the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey.
Yeah, good point.
I was going to say 20% is the exact chances that a team that lost in the first round of the wild card has to win the series. So
yeah.
I saw 20% and just immediately my heart sunk.
Jake, your and I seasons have just begun. They've just begun for the Bills and the Rams. That was a warm up. That was a warm up month. Space is coming in. So how do we get Jesse in a Seahawks hat? I'll tell you how. Have the Seahawks beat the Niners the next time out, right? It's probably simple.
That game. That's the only way.
No, he tactically chose to take advantage of me at the time he did to be able to get the head call. Now he's not allowing me to do a double or nothing. He won't let me come back because he knew I was going to be hyped for the season. He's like got all that just innocent like energy that I was operating off of, that he knows every fan's operating off of. And he came in there with this elder statesman team. Will be at their best at the start of the year, and I was unaware, almost like a babe in the woods, really, almost like a doe, like Bambi in a lot of ways.
Ooh, a jersey. No, I don't wear jerseys.
Yeah, that'd be.
No, you'd have to wear a Seahawks jersey, and Brandon would have to wear a Niners jersey.
See, well, unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait. There's no more wins left, Jake. That's the thing, is he knows the wins are all gone now for a very long period of time. They got to get off Brock's contract. That's a year out.
Get a big win.
Brent Williams going to retire.
Maybe you do a bet with the line if it gets to that point.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a little spread action in there. The problem is, fellas, we got to wait till 2026 to see who's wearing the hat again. That game is until January 4th.
Damn.
So we have some time. Get those heads ready. I know Brandon's is already prepared. Yeah, that game is that's the last game of the season. Yeah.
That is
I think there'll be about 5 healthy Niners left by that.
Oh, man. Seahawks fan base, including Brandon, just absolutely ripping tonight. Concierge coming in. The Cards are going to card. I love the Purdy contract. Hit the button, Brandon. Wow, like I said, man, oh, man, it's on fire out in Seattle.
Said.
Oh, Randy McDaniel. I heard Puka is actually the second coming of Christ. Well, not second coming, Jake, because you said he's in the top 3, not the top 2. So,
yeah, do you guys? Quick question: do you guys agree?
He's
I don't know, but I don't really have an argument because I got to really think about players in the NFL. But it seems a bit rich to me. He's very.
Jake, so you go. I'd rather have Puka than Jamar Chase. I'd rather have Puka than Justin Jefferson. Yes. I don't know if I'd be to that same place on that one myself. But he's up there. He deserves to be up in the top right. So
I think Amon-Ra St. Brown deserves to be in that conversation with Puka as well. He's a very.
I would take Puka over Amon. I would do that. But the other two guys, I think, are kind of there is that sort of.
But are those guys going to be able to block on the level of Nakua?
Are they a little more dynamic in what they can bring?
Amon-Ra does.
Yeah, well, that's why I like that you brought him up, Jesse, because I think now we're talking about more. But that's the thing, like with Myles Garrett, I went back and forth like with him and TJ Watt, and I realized that I think he's the best at he's not just a pass rusher, he dominates the run, and then Josh Allen isn't just a thrower of the football that is just mind-boggling, but he can also tear you up on the ground, and he's so smart, So it's just. You have to have, to me, to be the best at a position, you have to have multiple things. That's just what I think. I don't know.
But you also got Jamar coming off a Triple Crown season last year, and his quarterback's broken, so it's not like he's lost.
I know. I feel for him. That was hard to watch yesterday.
You want to see Joe Burrow's impact on a team? Watch that game last night. Holy cow!
He should win the MVP just off that.
Off the couch, literally, just give it to him. It's incredible. Mark Sanchez, once again, a quick shout out to the misdivisional winners since 2001, and the Hawks look like they're hitting their stride. Also, Sam Darnold can play football. Thanks, Minnesota. Have Gino. Vegas, go ahead and have him, says Mark.
He says that's Mariners divisional winners. Mariners are in the playoffs, too, from the baseball side of it. That's what he's referencing on that.
Yeah.
All right, well, good luck to the Mariners. Mo Maggot. A lot of baseball talk tonight. Playoff season. I love it. Mo Maggot. Seattle overreaction. Sam Darnold is a top 3 quarterback. Whew. Damn.
That's probably one that's a little bit out there a little
in the
bit.
division.
Hasn't fully taken
might be top 3.
He's definitely number 2 now in the division, I would say.
Under the radar is Leonard Williams is the best D tackle in the NFL.
Yeah, Daniel Jeremiah talked about this last week that he felt like Leonard Williams about the last year and a half has been playing like the best defensive tackle in the sport. And there's other guys with brighter names, but just look at how he's purely played both as a run and a pass rusher. He's a complete defender. His impact comes from the first to the fourth quarter. He's taken over games. I think he has been that guy, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a better one.
I'd probably go Nnamdi Madubuike with the McDonald coached him too. With the Ravens. He's out, and you're going to see the Ravens are going to be lost.
We have seen it.
It's gonna see. Yeah, they've allowed 144 points. The worst defense in the NFL right now. I can't even get over it. That team is, and they got the Texans and your Rams in 2 weeks. They're staring at 1-5. That Ravens team. It is crazy. Yeah. Freddie K says, see you Thursday. That you will, Freddie. We can't wait to see you. Gonna be awesome. Thomas is coming in. He's saying, Brandon, it's still 4 games with Darnold, but all you can judge is the first 4 games. It's all you got, Brandon.
I'm not overstating it as far as him being certainly top 3. He's like a top 3 rated guy by PFF, but that's not where I think he's necessarily going to land throughout the rest of the year. And there's more still to prove. It is 4 games, but he has played well above even where my expectations were that I thought he could be well suited to this offense. He's been above that.
Boo is back in with his Canadian double entendres. It's 1 Blue Jay over 9 Yanks.
Nice. Yeah, we know what you did there. Good try.
Yeah, good stuff, Boo. Tip of the cap. Catalyst, Mariners and Seahawks success causing scheduling concerns. Nice to see Seattle sports rewarding us. 206 on top. What's up with that? They're going to be rearranging the stadium situation there?
Yeah, something with the Tampa Bay that it may be tough for them, but they're going to be probably pushing the Hawk game a couple hours forward. So maybe it goes to 3, 4 o'clock, but keep in mind that's an East Coast team coming out from Tampa Bay. Ask Jesse how he's going to feel tomorrow. Comes a late point. So, you're starting a game at like 7 o'clock your time, 6 o'clock your time. That's not easy, but it looks like that's how they're going to push that out a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, it's tough to get used to that East Coast, West Coast. I was looking at the tickets and it says start time 5 p.m. Like I was fully anticipating a night game Thursday night, but it won't be. It'll be 5 o'clock. So it's like tough to wrap your mind around. Stockton slap. And again, Jesse, only Niner fan that isn't a total annoyance. Congrats, Jesse. That's nice. That's really nice.
Niner fans would disagree with you. Go ahead.
Wow, Stockton's putting a bag down on the Rams, he says. $15K to win $5K Rams money line on Thursday. He said it's easy money.
Easy money. Wow. All right. Let's see that.
I've heard. You guys see, by the way, someone had $1 million slip last night on the Jets.
Yeah.
I need to meet that person.
Why the hell would you ever do that to yourself?
I mean, I got to meet that guy.
That's got to be.
How do you become a billionaire being as dumb as you would have to be to bet $1 million on the Jets?
That's so
just to feel alive, trying to feel alive.
Yeah.
Betting on the Jets. Oh God, no.
I wouldn't bet $10 on the Jets. So yeah, it could have been Gary V. He's trying to buy the team. So maybe he's trying to stack some coin there and buy him or whatever. Stockton, Dodgers on cruise control, up 5-0, back-to-back titles loading. Man, he's really
nice to have an easy conference over there, huh? Right?
You're playing the Reds. The Reds got
away.
in because the Mets lost. Like they lost 9 of their last 14. That collapse is hilarious.
Jason, ooh, I love this. When we win Thursday, Jake, will you play the song, the boombox song? I think is what he's referring to.
I'm gonna have to probably.
Yes, he has to. It'll be good.
Yeah,
it's tradition.
Do it. You have to do it.
Jesse's like, you gotta do it.
It's the best. It is the best.
It is funny. I'm gonna put it on my board, so I can just program it because I have the same thing Brandon has. So
space back in. Jesse should have to wear a Niner shirt that says 6-11 when we beat them week 18.
What if we're not 6-11 though? That'd be weird.
Yeah, it would. If he's bang on though, you might have to do it because that's like some Nostradamus stuff right there. He's already predicting the end of the season record. Nitsu, I was skeptical of the ginger, but I'm glad I was proven wrong.
Oh, there's a lot of people in the Hawk fandom that when that stayed. This whole panel was in the same state of it. There still are. It sounds like Jesse's still digging his toes in, so he still has to prove it to them. But I'm going to get him by the end of the year. All 3 of these guys by the end of the year.
This is definitely a Sam Darnold.
I know you're going to dig in. I got that you're going to dig in. By the end of the year, though, it's going to be very hard.
On the line, and you guys will come to my side again. Just remember that.
I don't think Sam Darnold's a true ginger. He's more of a day walker. I don't think is he a true ginger?
He's not. Oh, maybe he was talking about Carson Wentz.
Oh, Wentz.
No.
Maybe he's talking about Andy Dalton, who's going to end up being the Bengals starting quarterback sooner than later.
Talking about Darnold, I'm assuming.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Sammy Darnold. Jack Maloney, don't think we forgot you had the Yankees winning the East. The AL East.
They literally lost it on a tiebreaker.
Yankees unloaded. Coming your way.
On 4 games.
After the stream. I mean, they better come over there, Jake.
Do I get to use that excuse last year, Jake, with our Rams and Seahawks?
Well, no, here's the difference.
Does it work that way as well?
Here's the difference.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander?
Hey, Jimmy Garoppolo almost won the game with all of our backups out. So, come on.
Tiebreaker.
Mr. H.
They're going to play all their starters if that game matters.
I got a feeling this is going to be a good one just based on the first couple of words here. Yo, Jesse, a dad goes to buy milk in 1996. Where did he watch the Niners' last Super Bowl win? Answer, with his family. Go Hawks.
What?
So
I don't get it.
He left the fam after the Niners won the Super.
Yeah, I don't.
I thought we were going to have something there. I don't think we do.
Yeah.
Where did he?
It was a good
Niners
A for effort, I guess.
Definitely an A for effort. I just don't know if the execution was there.
Yeah.
But go, yeah, you said it, Brandon, right? Definitely go Hawks. They've been. I mean, listen, tonight you got to have one whiff. The Hawks fans have been on fire tonight. So A for effort indeed. We have Dylan coming in. As a Hawks fan, we are so fortunate for
Mike McDonald.
Yeah, okay, good. Not good with my acronyms, as we well know. Ravens fans are pissed he's gone, and I love Pete, but watching the Raiders gives me bad flashbacks of Pete's later time in Seattle.
Yeah, I think with both Pete and Gino, to me, I think it's hard pressed to have really too much of a I mean, you can have your pre-loaded stuff on Gino, that's for sure, but they're in a bad environment with the Raiders where it's going to take some while to turn that around. It took him years to get us to where we were in Seattle. So I don't know why you think with a worse organization, the Raiders, that those two guys walking in there would be anything but out the gate having troubled times. So, they have some time. They may still turn that around, but we're in really good shape. And boy, look at the Ravens defense and how it's performing. Tell me they don't miss Mike McDonald right now in a big way.
Stockton coming in once again. He said, I'll be there with you guys Thursday to sweat it with y'all. We can't wait to see you, Stockton.
Let's go. Can't wait.
It'll be fun.
Appreciate it.
15K on the line in person. We'll watch you sweat it. We'll all be sweating. Thomas Cox, I wonder if KOC wants Darnold back. Yeah, maybe after the loss, right, in Dublin Sunday morning. Not looking great right now for Minnesota, so we'll see. I bet you he probably does, though. Robbie, LOL, what happened in the playoffs with Sam last year is his fate. Wasn't that against the Rams?
Yeah, but there's always context for everything. So you lost your whole offensive line. The Rams collapsed it with the pass protection that was non-existent. And we come back to, again, it's you get a cop on a Sam Darnold or this quarterback, that quarterback. I've said this over and over, and I've been consistent on my outlook of this. You give a quarterback no running game, you get him deluged by a pass rush over the course of games, and you're going to get an underperforming quarterback. That's not a representation of that quarterback of how good or bad they are. That's if you don't put a functional line in front of them, you're going to see a failing offense. And that's just what happened in that game against the Rams. Did they take it to him? Sure. But again, the whole line was beat up. Minnesota rebuilt their whole line this offseason. They were down both of their tackles in that game. Like, tell me the team that's going to withstand that and going to be just okay. Like, no problem. We're going up against a team that's going to go to the conference championship. We'll just, skim right across the water on this thing like it's no problem. That's ridiculous.
Anderson said, who did the Yankees play last year on their way to their spanking in the World Series? The Reds is the only easy game in the NL. Go Rams. Wow. So he's a fan of the Rams, Jake, but not a fan of the Yankees. Yankees Unloaded, by the way, live after the NFC West Roundtable right here on YouTube.
You're the man.
Talk all the baseball over there, fellas.
Right.
Yes, Red boy. Seahawks fans need to stay off the Canadian weed, says Red Boy. You guys were bragging about beating the Rams second and third stringers last year. We will see how good you are when you play the Rams. So I guess the bar is the Rams, Brandon.
Well, they are. As much not because the Niners aren't good, because they're just injured and probably are going to have a hard time getting to the healthy side of it. But yeah, the Rams are the class. I thought that coming into it. We got to prove that we can beat them. I think it's fair to say, hey, until you guys do, you guys are in your place. So that's valid. Absolutely. We don't need Canadian, though. It is legal where we're at. So we can make all the good stuff in our own backyard out there.
And Duce will wrap us up.
This is the weirdest schedule, by the way. The way they have the the fact that the Rams are playing the Cardinals 14-18 and they're playing Seattle 11-16. It's the weirdest schedule. I don't know about you, Z-Bot. I don't know when you guys typically play your division opponents, but I've never seen two division opponents all those games after the bye. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, it's been weird. Like the Chargers started the year with 3 consecutive divisional games. I don't think I remember seeing that before, really. So there's a lot of stuff all over the place. But
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, interesting structure. Duce will close us out with a banger. Brandon, let's give Duce a little love here with a 50 spot to close out the episode. Hawks fans going a bit too hard. It's still Rams house. And Brandon just said as much. He said the bar is the Rams. They're coming, though, right? The Seahawks, they're trying their best to surpass the Rams. They'll start by trying to do that this upcoming week against a really good Bucs team. And we'll see if they can get to 4-1. We'll see who gets to 4-1 on Thursday night when we're there in person. Rams, Niners, we cannot wait to see everyone who will be there. For those who won't, we'll be back with you this time next week to recap everything we saw in person and saw over the weekend in week 5. But for now, that's going to do it on this week 4 recap episode of the NFC West Roundtable. For Brandon, Jesse, Jake, and Mike, I'm your host, Z-Bot. Thanks so much, as always, for tuning into the NFC West Roundtable, and we'll see you on the next one.
Go Cards.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network, covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.